Okay, so today is Tuesday, October 24th, and this is just a real quick Taco Tuesday midday trading update. So here is one of the money glitch trades for this week, and I just put this trade on yesterday, and you can see there's like some sort of a volatility issues going on with these that are that occurs sometime with these trades that are really cool. And when I put the trade on, this pink line came down. Well, first of all, let's just kind of back out for a second. So this trade was put on. You can see that the risk graph is totally above the zero line all the way down. If it crashes all the way down to zero, I'm guaranteed to make $3,215 on the downside. On the upside, if it like races and takes off to the upside, I'm guaranteed to make $2,628. And then there's all this profit potential in here in this tent, this mountain structure. Now, when I put this trade on yesterday, the pink line, which is the 0-day line, that was coming down. It was right about at the zero line, which is down here, maybe just a little bit below. But you can see how the pink zero line kind of follows what's going on here with the expiration line, the blue line. How it comes down. This is the valley here that we want to be careful of because this is where the risk is in these trades. So right now we're currently trading right here. So, we have all this space up here, all this room to go, and potentially even down a little bit. But once we get into this area, if it looks like we're going to be trading in this area towards the end of the week, there's some adjustments we need to do to eliminate this valley here, because as the trade progresses day by day towards the end of the week, this valley has a potential to continue to droop down lower and lower, and that's where the real risk is in the trade. Now, another thing with this trade was just put on yesterday, and if there was a sharp move up, you can see how we could make profit on this pink 0-day slope very quickly. And on a trade like this, where I have a guaranteed profit on the downside of $3,200 and some odd dollars, I would be looking for like half of that. If there was a quick move up today, and we could get up to say, you can see it doesn't take much of a move to get us up to the 1500 area. That's where I would start to consider taking it off, or maybe peeling pieces of this trade off, just kind of reducing the overall risk and locking in profits. But you can see that this can get into a significant profit quickly just on a move up on that pink line. Like here it's 3,000. We're at 4 there. But the other cool thing about this trade is because of the combination of options that are being used and like weird kind of pricing and volatility issues, you can see that this pink line now, the 0-day line, is raised up. So right now I could close this trade out after being in the trade for one day for $1,048 right now. I'm going to let this thing continue to run though. But when I saw this occurring this morning, I thought this would be a great update, a good Tuesday midday trading update to just kind of show you how these things move over time and how they can give you a lot of potential opportunities to take profits. Like this thing hasn't really moved since it was put on yesterday, but just because of the rise in volatility, we could take like $1,000 profit in one day just from that alone. On this trade is a $3,541 theta. That's $3,541 a day theta, and has a positive vega of 2,221. So any pop in volatility could boost this up even further. And on the flip side of that, of course, a drop in volatility could bring this whole area down a little bit. Even though a drop in volatility could bring this part of the structure down, no matter what happens, we're always guaranteed what's showing on these edges, which again on the downside is 3,215. On the upside is 2,628. So that's just a quick midday update on one of my money glitch trades I have on this week. I think I have a total of 4 trades on this week. And either today, after the market closes, or tomorrow, we'll do a check-in and we'll look at each one, how they look and how they're performing. And then the last thing I wanted to look at real quick was we had a Paradox Profits trade cash in this morning. And this is a trade, I made a video on this last week, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But essentially, it's just kind of like the exact opposite of how I usually trade and how I usually teach other people how to trade, which is the way I usually trade is theta positive trades, where I'm using the probability of an underlying staying within a certain range and then just making time off the theta decay over the passage of time. And a lot of people refer to these as non-directional trades. That's how I usually trade. That's the bulk of my trades are non-directional trades. But with this Paradox Profits trade, it's the exact opposite of that. There's just this kind of weird setup that when used in the right circumstances, under the right market conditions, have a very little risk, but have the potential to make a huge profit off of that risk. And these can be played by themselves. This is like a standalone strategy, but they can also be used used to enhance and kind of blend in with other trades that you have on. For example, like say the whole Murphy's Law thing, where a lot of traders, and it's happened to me as well. You put a trade on, like a directional trade. It could be like just like a straight stock play, or even like a credit spread, which is kind of directional, either bullish or bearish. And a lot of times, as soon as a trader puts those trades on, the underlying just has this knack to move immediately against them. So one of the things we can do with these paradox trades, and that I've been doing, is to just kind of combat that. So we put our initial trade on if it's somewhat directional, and then we can blend these paradox trades in either as adjustments to the trade, like throughout the duration of the trade if needed, or even just at setup they can be blended in. So you're sort of in a position where it's kind of like a checkmate position. It's like either way you can win. You can win from the directional credit spread or the directional trade that you have on. But if Murphy's Law does pop his head up, like he does so often, you're more in a position to welcome that and say, go ahead. You actually don't care if it goes up because you have this paradox trade that's counterbalancing the overall trade. So this paradox trade we had this morning, this is a trade I put on last night. It's on the SPX. Let me zoom in here real quick. So this trade was closed down this morning, but I'm just kind of backing up a bit to show you where it was before it was closed. So currently the underlying is trading right here, and this trade has a total risk of $155 on it. And the market's backed off now. It's about halfway through the day, and we're back down. The SPX is like 4 points up. But early on in the day, the SPX did kind of race up, and it was up around the plus 30 point level. And then during that run up, I saw it coming up, and I just placed a limit order for the trade to automatically exit out if it hit a certain profit target. And it did hit that. Probably around 20 minutes or so after I set that automatic exit order, it hit it, and it was filled. So it was probably up in this area here. You can see again, we're right here trading currently, but earlier in the day had run up into this area, and at that time there was the ability to take it off for $250. Even though we're outside of this tent, there's just this real steep pink 0-day line that you can take advantage of on these intraday moves. So again, I just set the automatic order to close that out and close out the trade for $265 profit on a total risk of $155. So I'm terrible at math. I'm not going to figure that out. But it's absolutely more than a 100% profit on this trade. Plus the fact that I had this trade on, not only did I cash out on the trade, but it was also there in case I needed it for a position where there could be like a weak spot in this area on the SPX. So it's sort of like a way for me to have my cake and eat it too. Either way, I'm fine. It can act as a hedge that one of my larger money glitch trades can essentially pay for, can fund it, and it will also protect me in a potential weak spot on one of those trades or any type of trade I have on. If there's a weak spot in this area, I just find where those weak spots are and I can place these trades accordingly. Or in a position like today where it was there in case I needed it, but as it turns out, it looks like I may not need it, and I just took that 100% plus gain on this little extra additional plug-in trade. So hopefully all that makes sense. I'll be doing another update either after the market closes today or tomorrow, sort of like a midweek hump day update. And if you'd like to follow along with me on these trades, just make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel below. Just hit the subscribe button and also join me on my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. Thanks. That's it for today. Talk to you later.